Well, good morning. Today is Wednesday, May the 27th, and it's my pleasure to bring the most recent update from the city of Belleville as we deal with the COVID-19 situation here in our city and in our province and our country and around the world, indeed. First of all, just as always, I want to remind people that we have a COVID-19 webpage on the City of Belleville website at belleville.ca. You can go there and get all the information regarding what the City of Belleville is doing to help our residents and businesses during this time, as well as information on what's open, what's closed, and how we're handling everything. This is the second week of the Phase 1 reopening in the province of Ontario, and I think things are going very, very well. As I drive around and see in the city, I am seeing that there are a lot of people that are practicing the social distancing, respecting the protocols. The new businesses that have opened, that are allowed to open because if they have an outside or an exterior entrance, I have been really amazed by how well the customers, but also the business owners are taking the safety protocols, and they're doing a good job. And I invite everybody to continue to have patience and understanding as we go through this. Everyone's trying to figure out how to do this one step at a time. We've never done this before, so we're all trying to learn. Congratulations to everybody on that excellent effort. This week on Monday, Belleville City Council had another meeting. We have not missed any of our scheduled meetings since the beginning of this pandemic. We have met electronically because we're not able to meet in person. But one of the things that we did at the meeting on Monday was we rescinded what was called a delegation of authority. Back on March the 20th, we were not sure when we would be able to meet again, and there was at that time a law preventing us from not meeting in person. And so we delegated authority to our Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Rod Bove, a 32-year veteran of the City of Belleville, and he was given the power to make some decisions if Council could not meet. Fortunately, the province made some changes to allow us to meet electronically, but he still had a number of things to do during this time to exercise that authority. And on Monday, we rescinded that because of our scheduled, our ability to have those meetings, and we haven't missed. But you know, I want to thank Rod, and I want to thank all the city staff for all that they've been doing throughout this time. And I think we've been handling it quite well. And it's mostly because of the great work our men and women that work for the City of Belleville do, and our residents. We've seen this week a number of reopened open spaces or parks and playgrounds. And again, as I said, people are really doing a great job in terms of how they are using them. But on Saturday, May the 30th, we're going to be reopening our two marinas in the city, the Victoria Marina as well as Myers Pier. And so that's exciting for people who are doing that. And I want to thank our staff as well for getting ready to have those areas ready to go for us to be opened. This morning, the province of Ontario extended all the remaining emergency orders that they have in place now for another 10 days to June the 9th. So that means that the social gathering limit of 5 people who are not cohabitating, the closure of playgrounds, the closure of public swimming pools, and many other services or establishments continue to June the 9th. But we are planning on Phase 2. We're planning on dealing with what comes next. We're putting together a plan of how we're going to be able to safely reopen our municipal buildings, but also, most importantly, what the sanitation protocols will be for our buildings, for our public washrooms, and for all the things that we will need to be doing. Transit service is now going to be moving back towards that previous scheduled service. We have been on demand for the last little while, but we'll continue to have on demand on weekends, but we are moving back towards a more scheduled service, and stay tuned for those updates. Again, they'll be on the COVID-19 webpage on the city's website, but also there'll be other information that'll be coming out. And on Monday, Council extended the parking passes, the transit passes from March through to the end of June, and so that ostensibly means that we're not charging revenue for people using it. So you know, if you're able to use our transit, that's great. And then we're working on those protocols for how we'll do it afterwards. It's nice to have a guest appearance today by my dog Cooper, who is getting his hair cut today finally, because dog groomers were allowed to open a week and a half ago, and there was a long lineup of appointments. And I want to thank all the animal groomers that have been practicing good safety protocols. It's been an adjustment for them as well as everybody else, but I know that all of our pets are so happy to be back on schedule. The last thing I want to talk about today is just some of the good news, and it's our partnership with the Belleville Chamber of Commerce. And this has been a long-standing partnership, and the chamber is contracted by the city to provide some events for us. And so this year it's going to be different. We cannot have the traditional events that we've had. So 3 specific events: Canada Day, Waterfront, and then Concerts in the Bay. I would want to talk about very quickly. Canada Day will no longer have the big event at Zwick's Park. We're actually going to have a very small caravan of vehicles that are going to go to some of our long-term care or our medical facilities to say thank you to the people that are working in them. So it's not going to be a parade like we did with the Santa Claus. It's going to be more of a caravan of vehicles going to there to sort of recognize our gratitude for those people that are doing it. The Waterfront and Ethnic Festival that normally happens at Zwick's with all the vendors and the rides, that's not going to occur this year. What instead will happen is there'll be a type of an opportunity to go to different restaurants around the city that are offering ethnic food and being able to get a passport stamped. And so you know, they'll still be able to do takeout service, and that's the best that we can do this year. And then lastly, the Lions Club of Belleville has put on the Concerts of the Bay at the Zwick's bandshell for many years. This year they've already booked the entertainment, but they're not able to do it because we're not sure about gathering sizes and whether or not we can have it outdoors. So the Chamber of Commerce, along with Your TV, our local cable station, is going to be recording these and broadcasting on television so people can still enjoy those concerts. And I want to thank the Chamber. It's been very difficult for them as well. You know, they work all year long planning for their events, and COVID has really thrown a wrench into it, but they've tried to adapt as best as possible, doing it safely, and something that we can look forward to coming back to next year. But this year we're still going to have something, and I want to thank them and congratulate them. I'll be back in a couple of days with another update, but in the meantime, I ask you to stay safe, wash your hands, and if you are concerned at all about the fact that you may have symptoms of COVID, or even if you don't have symptoms, you can contact the COVID-19 Assessment Center. The telephone number is here on the screen, and you can ask to have an appointment to get tested. They will allow anyone to be tested. You just need an appointment so they can manage the number of people arriving at the same time. But stay safe, wash your hands, get tested if you need to, and follow all the social distancing protocols. And we'll be back in touch in a couple days.